Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. A couple of days ago, I put out a post, and the post was asking, what disinterests you in the patriotic fun channel that I have? And I think about 56 people said, we don't know what you're talking about. So today I'm going to explain that, and more importantly, I'm going to explain who I am. I'm going to tell you a lot of things about me that you're definitely not going to believe. If I haven't already told you a crap load of shit about me that you don't believe, we're going to go way over the edge today. My intention in starting the fun channel for Patriots was because the news that we were receiving over the last 10 years was very disturbing, heartbreaking, keeping people up at night. When we had the original channel and I was getting over 500,000 views on a video within 24 hours, I was receiving hundreds and hundreds of emails and people asking me what they should do in these certain situations that we were facing. And I realized that it wasn't my place to say that. And I realized that people are only asking me things because they're very worried. So I only created this channel because of the disturbance that people were feeling. I'm going to give you a teaser right now. I was the people who bring the cast to Saturday Night Live, I was the golden boy to replace Chris Farley. And they sent Chris Farley to me when he got out of rehab, and they had Chris Farley hanging out with me. And I'm going to leave that as a teaser, and we'll explain the rest of the story later. Right now, you're about to see the very first episode of the Patriot Fun channel, which is called @Explore America. Now, YouTube, because of this channel and my other 16 channels that tells people the truth that the communist regime of YouTube doesn't like, my Patriot channel is not allowed to grow. I'm not able to experience the same growth as other channels. There are probably 5% of the subscribers to the Explore America channel that don't have any idea that I'm a truther. And there are about 15 channels called Explore America, but I'm the only one that actually owns @Explore America. Everybody else owns @Explore America 12527, @Explore America LV121. I'm the actual first Explore America. I actually have hundreds more videos and thousands of more subscribers than any other channel. But when you type in the two words Explore America into YouTube, you will not find me. The only way to find me is to actually type in @Explore America like you see in the top corner. So right now we're going to see my original video, which every time I watch it, it makes me tear up because it was a competition. It was my daughter's first horse racing competition. And I went back and learned about the history of it. And most of the videos on that channel are like between 5 and 11 minutes long. Both of the you're going to see 2 videos and a YouTube short, all of which is, I believe, under 9 minutes. You're going to see a lot of me. So I'm going to turn off the microphone and let you guys watch. Now, here's the thing. I'm about to travel across America. Based on my current viewership, just the trip alone, not including food or entertainment, I'm going to be spending about $10 to $15, $12 to $15 per view. So for every person who watches one of the videos coming out in the next few weeks, It's literally going to cost me $12 to $15 per viewer to bring you that video. And you know, people our age don't understand the importance of thumbs up, but as you're sitting here watching this live stream, YouTube won't share it. I just learned this today from BCP, Black Conservative Patriot, that YouTube won't share a video out unless it gets 150 thumbs ups. So if 100% thumbs up, I guess that still won't get me, according to BCP, the viewership. So let's watch this fun video, and then I'm going to explain why and how I was the hopeful to replace Chris Farley after his drug problem before his death. This is the first time in 16 months that I've celebrated anything about my beloved America. So today you're going to look at America through my eyes, and maybe seeing what America is to me might enhance what America is to you too. In 1948, a group of about 70 women started the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. They developed a new competition called barrel racing. The original was with 2 barrels and they called it the figure 8. But it was soon discarded for what they called the clover. 3 barrels set up in a triangle formation. And if you grew up in the equestrian world, you may already know that the most athletic cowboy is a cowgirl. Standing over at barrel number 3, I realized for the first time that these horses love these races. Maybe just a little bit more than these cowgirls do. Now this is Ladybird, and she is a Tennessee Walker. And you're about to see the first fat man race a horse in the history of equestrianism, I think. So what's a Tennessee Walker? A Tennessee Walker is a horse that was trained to walk at a certain gait. The intention supposedly was that you can have longer trail rides for the rider and the horse. Let's watch a fat man race a horse.
I was looking all over for you. Look at how pretty you are. Let's go for a walk. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Come on, Ladybird. Come on, Ladybird. Okay, we're not gonna run because it's too much. Good girl. I'll be back. I love you. I love you. I'll be back. You're my girl.
And lucky me, I ran into the most beautiful redhead I've ever seen. This is Redheaded Stepstacker for Hello America. There is a hot dog buried under there, but this is the gem of the meal. You can always take your kids, they won't eat it. Green tomato. Let's dig in. Black cow. Vanilla ice cream. We have to dig down to the hot dog, but I can do that. Okay, now we're down to the dog. Got a little smashed. Pickle. There we go. That's a super dog smashed by fries. That's how many fries we gotta get rid of. Today's Mac 0311 no-kill shelter of the week is Brookings Regional Humane Society in Brookings, South Dakota. Today, we're going to the house that Nike built. That's right, the home of Michael Jordan. Jump on the red-headed step stacker train, because the tickets are free. This is a very small cul-de-sac. I'd say the circle of grass in the center is about 15 feet in only 3 homes. Holy cow. Come on, Mike, I'll give you 11 points. Let's see what you got. Come on. Come on, old man. Wake up, old man. It's time for a lesson.
You have another 5 minutes because that alarm is going to go off.
This 7-acre estate, 5,600 square foot home can be yours for $14,885,000 today. And I could probably get him to shave $1 million off. This custom-built home comes with 14 full bathrooms, 5 half bathrooms, and 9 bedrooms. It comes with a gymnasium with a regulation-sized basketball court. It comes with an infinity pool, a putting green, a tennis court, and a cigar lounge. This home was built in Highland Park, Illinois in 1995. The asking price divides into about $455 per square foot. And the last tax record indicates they were paying $10,815 a year for that 7-acre property. I actually think that tax quote is a bit low because I've seen houses a quarter this size with $25,000 in taxes. Being from Chicago, I stopped watching basketball when Michael Jordan retired the second time. I remember a time when Michael Jordan's signature was worth several $100s. I mean, Michael Jordan could take a napkin, write his name on it, and it automatically becomes money. Here's a question I have that I can't answer, so I'll ask you. Globally, at the height of their popularity, who was bigger, Michael Jordan or Elvis? Let me know in the comments below after you kindly thumbs up. I'm leaving now. Have a beautiful, tell Mike I said hi. All right, 5x5. Thank you for stopping by Michigan Swamp Hopper. He's seen all these videos. There's nothing new here for him. All right, let's jump into the story. At the age of about 5 or 6 years old, my father, who was in the Second City Conservatory, the Second City Conservatory is where Saturday Night Live got all its cast till about the time Eddie Murphy showed up. And then it was probably about 50 cents or 50%. During the 90s with Chris Farley, it was 100%. And that was at the time I was at Second City. So let's go back to 1976. After the first season of SNL, they were making the union minimum, which I think was $500 a week. And so they weren't really very wealthy, the original cast of SNL. So after the first season of SNL, a few people from SCTV who were already working at Second City in Chicago. Second City is an improvisational theater where you go in and anything that you see was all developed based on previous suggestions from the audience. There is no script. So in 1976, my father's in the conservatory. My father's taking my brother and I to children's theater classes. Two people who taught at those theater classes, one which I remember very, 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 very vividly, because I had a little bit of a boy crush on her, like a young boy crush, was Gilda Radner. And it wasn't till I was a little bit older where my father told me, but I didn't quite know who she was. So Gilda Radner, Rick Moranis, they were both teaching in the children's theater on Sunday morning at Second City. So let's fast forward to 1991. 1991, I'm in the Second City Conservatory, which is located not at Second City in Chicago, but there's an outlying theater out near what would be called Woodfield Mall in the suburbs of Chicago. This is Rolling Meadows, Schaumburg. At that conservatory, my instructor and director was Nia Vardalos, if you ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding. At the same time, I was also in Improv Olympia, which is where I basically worked and met with everybody from Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Rachel Dratch, Chris Farley, Andy Dick, Andy Richter, who loved me. And the two people who ran that school were Sharna Halpern and the guy who was one of the people who started Second City, Del Close. Del Close was a warlock. He was a Satan worshiper. And so was Sharna Halpern. She was a witch. And I do believe that today that Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who were very, very close and worked in the office and were in the inner circle of Improv Olympia, I believe, and I'm not saying they are, but I do believe that they're both witches also. And probably Rachel Dratch. So Satanism does exist in the theater. This is true. So let's go back. So I'm studying there. Sharna Halpern takes a very strong liking to me and always pays attention to me and always picks me to do the next thing and always laughs the loudest of whatever comes out of my mouth. And she tells Del that she wants me to be presented to SNL because Chris Farley had left and they got to have a Farley and they got to have a Belushi. And so I'm the next golden boy. I am the golden boy at Improv Olympia at this time, to the point where I was put on the team with Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch, Andy Dick, and where Chris Farley used to be, I was taking the Chris Farley place on the main house team at Improv Olympia. Back to Second City Northwest, where I'm in the conservatory, and Nia Vardalos from My Big Fat Greek Wedding is my instructor. Her co-workers, her cast members are Stephen Carell, who from The Office, who later became my writing teacher, and Stephen Colbert, who I really never liked. Stephen, and you know all these people I'm mentioning. So these are all the people in the circle that I'm hanging with at this time. I'm hitting on Nia Vardalos. That's a side note. She ends up marrying the fat guy who's at the very last shot of the movie the boyfriend, the handsome guy's best friend, the little short, that's her husband. I hit on Nia like left and right, never got anywhere with it. So I get to Chicago, I graduate there, I end up in the conservatory in Chicago. I graduate there, I'm meeting more people who are into Wicca and also people who are into Eastern religions. And so Second City asked me to audition for the touring team. And they give me a script and they want me to do the Belushi part. And I've heard this, I haven't seen it. I've listened to this scene because it's available on CD, and it's a scene about football, and it's supposed to take place at the Illinois University of Chicago. And I guess they don't even have a football team, and that's part of the joke. First of all, I don't like to remember lines. Like, I'll do like one line in a movie, in a TV show, which I've done. I played a doctor. This is the bullet that killed the boy. I only played a doctor because Mike Tyson's wife, who I had a crush on several years earlier, Lisa Bonet, got a crush. Not Lisa Bonet, I'm sorry. I can't. Lisa Gibbons, Robin Gibbons. Lisa Bonet was a big crush of mine, but Robin Gibbons, who was on Head of the Class, she was the black girl, Mike Tyson's wife. They're in the middle of a divorce, and Mike Tyson's wife starts having a crush on me. True, very true story. So I get pulled out of the extra line, and I'm an extra, and I'm fucking around, okay? I'm messing around, like I'm in the background behind all the action going on with the dead kid laying on the gurney, and Lisa Bonet and her co-part. She's playing a cop. The show's called Angel Street. And I'm in the background stealing syringes. And I'm opening up urine cups and smelling the urine cups. I'm doing things in the background that if anybody pays attention to will be very funny. The next day, I'm playing the custodian. And this is before, actually the first day I'm playing a custodian. The second day is when I'm in the emergency room playing a doctor with no lines at the time. That was day 2. And that's a day that Lisa Bonet sent her makeup girl over, asked me all these questions. I thought her makeup girl had a crush on me, and her makeup girl is her cousin. And she had a lot of hairs coming out of her chin. Big girl, big girl. A lot of hairs coming out of the chin. And I'm like, why is this girl asking me all these questions? Like, the makeup lady has a crush on me? No, what's happening is the makeup lady is asking me questions and then reporting back to Robin Gibbons about me. Okay? Robin's still married to Mike Tyson. Now, I know one other guy that messed around with Robin Gibbons before their divorce was final. His name is Brad Pitt. So me and Brad Pitt are the only two guys that messed around with Robin Gibbons that I know of. I'm sure there's hundreds of them. She likes the white boys. And I happen to adore black women. My last 3 longest relationships since I've been divorced were black women. Not even tan, not even light brown, like black, like when you turn your TV set off. So, and Robin's like a medium. And ironically, right now, Robin's married to like a white guy 20 years older than her, who I think's her manager. But anyway, so it's raining outside, and I've got a Jeep CJ7, and I only have like part of the roof on, the ragtop roof, no doors. And she comes up to me and starts asking me, "What do you do in Chicago? What's there to do around here? What's there?" You know, after she asked me all these, and then this dude laying on, not the boy, but another guy laying on a stretcher that was part of the shooting, this black guy, he starts answering all the questions because they said, do not talk to the stars. Don't even look them in the eye. Don't make contact. Don't look them in. Don't even talk to them. So I'm very hesitant to answer any of her questions because I'm there for $17 an hour. Side note, the company that hired me to play an extra in that TV show is the same company that tried to hire me to go to a George Soros rally like 12 years ago, 15 years ago. They literally going to pay me to go for 2 hours so I already knew a long time ago that they pay people to show up at protests because they tried calling me through the extra company that hires extras to go stand out and get paid to yell at a rally. So I kind of got the insight on what's going on. I know that Satanism exists in the theater and in the entertainment world. I know witches and warlocks are people who claim to be them. All these people who I'm around. Now, Second City asked me to read the script. Let's go back to that part. And I don't understand the comedy of it. This is a John Belushi sketch. Okay? It's a football sketch about that. You could find it easily, I'm sure, on YouTube, just the audio of it. And if you listen to it, you won't understand what the hell it's about. So I tell Second City that I'm not interested in learning a bunch of lines. Like I said, I'm okay learning one line at a time, like in a TV show or a film. But I can't remember five fucking pages of a scene that I don't even understand. So I tell Second City. And by the way, at the same time, Chris Farley is showing up to my classes. And he's sitting there and he's being quiet and he's talking to me on break. Now, for some weird reason, every time Farley's there, we have break every 20 minutes. So I turn to this old guy, Ed Brown, who's a merchant marine by trade, but he's like taking 6 months off. And I'm like, dude, why are we having break every 20 minutes? He goes, they're doing coke in the car, asshole. So Chris Farley is out of rehab. He's in the car. If you ever watched the show Office, Steve Carell, who was my writing instructor, he was actually a writer on Sesame Street before he even got to Second City. And this is 12 years before he even did The Office. He was already a writer on Sesame Street. And he's cool. I don't think he's got anything to do, as far as I know, with Wiccan or Satanism. Stephen Colbert, I'm absolutely positive is. I'll put all my money on that. Nia Vardalos, I'm kind of concerned. If I had to put my eggs in one basket, I'd say Nia also switched over to Satanism. I believe pretty much they all did, except for I have no evidence of Stephen Carell. And I've watched Stephen Carell perform live on stage at Second City maybe 150 hours. I've seen all of these people. I was either performing with these people or I was watching them perform. All these people who came out of SNL in the 90s and on TV shows. So on The Office, you may remember the guy that showed up every once in a while. He was also in a lot of Will Ferrell movies. The bald guy that wore the cowboy hat in The Office, he would come out of town. He was like a head salesman or something like that. He had tried to do a Dallas or a Texas accent. His little brother, Kevin, is the one who's going to the car with Chris Farley. So I do have a couple of Farley stories that wouldn't be interesting if it wasn't Chris Farley, so I'll skip those, where it's just me, Chris, one-on-one talking. They are anyway. So I come to the conclusion that, and by the way, the first time that I actually did the house team at Improv Olympia, Andy Richter, who was already famous, or the show that he was on, where he was with what's his name, the redheaded guy, was just kind of getting one. He loved me. He sat there. He got me drunk. He was buying me shots of Jack Daniels. I'm like, dude, I got to drive. I'm like sitting across the street from Wrigley Field in a bar, and I got to drive like 40 freaking miles home. I don't need too many shots of Jack Daniels. But I did appreciate, he looked, dude, you were awesome. It was so real. The guy was showering me with compliments. So I had all these people on my team, and I had a bad feeling in my stomach, and I didn't want to learn all these things, these Belushi lines that I didn't understand, that I didn't even think were funny, and have to remember them, and have to leave my job or quit my job and not have insurance and travel around the country entertaining people. which is what the Second City Touring Company does. So I didn't want to do that. So what I did is I went out and I found a bar that actually had a theater in the basement that hadn't been used in 30, 40 years. And I asked the bar owner, I said, hey, can I start a comedy club in your basement? And he said, yeah, I get the liquor money. You can have the door money. So this old guy, this old Greek guy, John, he would want me to show up and wait tables one day a week to show me off. Hey, doesn't he looks like Red Skeleton. And he would always pull me aside, and I'm roommating with another waitress, by the way, who's not making shit. And he'd pull me aside, he'd take out the biggest wad of cash. He goes, you doing okay? Hey, yeah, you're all right, right? And he'd start just flipping money off this big roll and handed it to me. Because he was making a shitload of money off the comedy club. So from there, I started to do a lot of stand-up, and I figured I left there and did my own theater thing because I didn't, although my dream since I was 5 years old to get on SNL, I didn't do it because there was a gut-wrenching feeling that I'm not supposed to do this. So I did not do that. Side note, one of the last times I was at the Improv Olympia, I heard Del Close. Del Close did not, the Warlock, the guy who started, he did not have as much love for me as Sharna did, but Sharna was the head, and he was, Del was the head or the face of the company, but Sharna really ran it. So I was going to get, I was going to be asked to audition for SNL no matter what. Del wasn't going to be able to change it, but Del didn't really, really like me like she did. So I'm walking down the hallway and I hear the most craziest, outrageous laughs, including Del Close. I've never heard Del Close laugh at anything. Now, if you look up Del Close, he was in a big TV series. I forget the name of it, but it was big on CW back in the 80s. It was about some mob crap that went on in Chicago back in the day. So Del Close is Bill Murray, to let you know who Del Close is. Bill Murray held Del Close's hand as he passed away. I never met Bill Murray, okay? But Bill Murray's would not be on SNL if it wasn't for Del Close. So I'm walking down the hallway, and Del Close is laughing, and I never heard Del Close laugh. And the window on the door is only like an 8 or 10 inch piece of glass at the height of my head. So I look into the glass, and I see Will Ferrell and, damn, what the hell's the name of that other guy that was dating Jennifer Aniston? I can't remember people's names. He was in the movie Old School with Will Ferrell. The guy with the black hair, kind of balding, dated Jennifer Aniston. Anyways, I'm looking in there, and Will Ferrell is doing the nervous guy thing that he does. And the other guy, who I can't remember the name of right now, is doing his normal confidence guy thing. And my heart went to my asshole because I knew that I'm no longer the golden guy. Although I already made the decision to move on and not try to pursue this just because the obstacles required me to do things that I didn't feel comfortable with. And I knew that I was that there's nothing Christian about what's going on here. Like, this is like an anti-Christian place, like where if you make fun of Christians, it's funny. So I decided not to take part in that. And the way I found, and that's another reason why I don't show my face and I'm not a truther, is because I don't want to be known for this. Could I have made a fuckload of money telling you guys awful things about what's going on in the world? Yes. But I'm a funny guy, and what I do is make people happy, which is why I started Explore America. Now, in a lot of the videos, I'm very respectful to the people that I'm in their space, and so I don't like. I keep my mouth shut a lot, but a lot of my shorts and things where I'm alone, I'll be funny, but I don't want to disrespect. If I'm going to the House on the Rock, which is probably my favorite video, where some dude built a mansion into a mountain and the walls it's a cave. I want to be respectful there, and I'm not shooting off my mouth like I would normally, but nonetheless, since I was a little boy, my interest was only in making people laugh and entertaining people. So as I'm watching my audience emotionally self-destruct on the Intel channel, and the only reason I started the Intel channel is because some fucking spy told me everything that was going to happen in 2010, and starting in 2013, it all started happening. And he originally predicted all that crap the year after Clinton went into office originally. He said it all. Everything he said in 1995 or 96 or whatever it was happened, and it started happening where we could see it happening, where it was obvious and there was no question in 2013. Everything he predicted in 1996 started happening in 2013, exactly as Dr. John said it. So, as a patriot, I came on the internet and started telling people. And then I started getting 300,000, 600, those are just numbers that always saw. 300,000 views, 600,000 views. Could I have been a Benny Johnson at that time and be driving a really fucking nice car with a $900 payment every month? Yeah. But that's not how I wanted to go down. I wanted to go down making people happy. And that's why I have Explore America channel. Because my intention is to share my love for the United States and the cultural things in it, and get people's mind off what's going on in the world. That's the whole point of that channel. And God gave me the gifts to do that. God didn't give me the gifts to be a truther. 70-year-old MI5, MI6 spy did. It just so happened that blew up, because it's really easy to get clicks when you say the sky is falling. It's not, however, easy to get clicks when you say that you're going to House on the Rock, a mansion built into a cave. And when YouTube is blocking your ass because you're telling the world that the sky is falling and the sky is actually falling, YouTube can't take my Explore America channel down. But if you look up Explore America right now, you're going to find 15 channels, none of which have more than 15 subscribers, none of which have even close to the number. I've got 500 videos up. Most of them are for members only, which is $1.99. I'd love it if you did, but I don't care if you become a member or not. But most of the stuff that's sensitive or close to my heart or personal, certain episodes disappear. They end up behind the $1.99 wall. And there are close to 40 people behind the $1.90. There's over 40 people behind the $1.99 wall. And some of them are much higher. It used to be the highest amount you could donate was $100. We had people donating at $100. We had people donating at $50, because I was giving them intel information, and they knew they could trust me, and they liked me, and I became part of their family. Some people don't have a family. I'm some people's brothers, because they know they could trust me more than their real brother. So the Explore America channel is unfindable. But if you go look at the number of subscribers I have versus who comes up in the Explore America when you search just those two words, they got nothing. You don't see me. I'm being hidden. So I can't grow that channel. And like I said, in the next, the very, very, very near future, I'm traveling 1,400 miles across the United States, and just the cost of travel is going to cost me $10 to $12 per view. And I'm okay with that because that video will be there forever, hopefully. And that cost per viewership will go down. But what I'm at, and here's the ironic part. I'm like 109 subscribers away from breaking 4,000 on Explore America. Now, if you type in at Explore America, like you see in the right-hand corner into YouTube, I come up right away. That's my channel, red, white, and blue with the hot dog. That's me. But that's the only way to find me on YouTube. And I'm only offered to subscribers to view. Nobody outside of my subscribership is going to see my videos. So if you're on social media and you want to help me grow, feel free to find, if you come across a video that you like or a YouTube short that makes you laugh, feel free to share that, because I'm stuck in a box and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm about to drop $2,000 on the next 6 episodes. Bill says, I'm already subbed, and yes, it was hard to find. Bill, they're really good. And Patriot Lily says, you're doing a good job making me laugh. Thank you very much, Patriot Lily. And Red Family from Blue Ski Mom. Blue Ski Mom is been around a long time. Killer Fuzz. Killer, I never got to talk to you about the thing the other night for the guys that were cutting away those trees. We'll do that soon. Michigan Swamp Hopper. Michigan, are you hearing stuff come out of my mouth tonight that I never told everybody? Based on your response, I think I am. I'm surprised I haven't told all these stories, but this is I'm just trying to give you a synopsis of who I am, what makes me tick, and why I'm here. And I'm trying to be as honest as I can with it. I stopped doing stand-up when COVID started. I was doing stand-up a couple times a week. I was doing stuff with other people that were doing, that would book a show and then they'd ask people to do the show with them. And I was doing all the open mics and all that. And I have no fear. I actually came to the point in my stand-up where I had to fill 10 minutes. I would purposely only go on stage with, I'd go on stage with 7 minutes. Then I'd go on stage with 5 minutes. And I'd have to improv the rest. I forced myself to fill it by just opening my mouth, because that's the way I was trained. I'm an improvisational actor. So I can go on stage and if I do a script, it fucks me up. But if I just open my mouth, I can make people laugh real easy. So I whittled that down to about 4 minutes of written material and 6 minutes of just screwing with the audience. And because I don't think there's the line that I actually have a line. If I get into it, I'm not going to get it. I don't want to share the line. But my daughter said something when she was a baby. And when people laugh, I get angry and I say this line to the audience. So when the audience gets mad, laughs at my joke, I get angry. And I put out this specific response of 3 words, and then they start laughing harder, because now I'm angry that they're laughing at my story, which is the whole point of me being there. And the harder that they laugh, the more I get angry at the audience. And so I've got this little trick. I know if I start stand up again, just this phrase alone, I'll sell 1 million t-shirts. I don't, gas money to the next place, but I'm not in a position, and nor do I, doing stand up across the country would work very well with Explore America. I got 4 years of college to pay for an offspring. And when that's complete, then I can open the door to that idea and go across America and do what I'm doing, and then stop at a club and make a couple $100 and go to the next club and make a couple $100. And that's not a bad way to make a living. That was the original plan. I thought after Donald Trump was elected in 2016 that I was going to be able to shut down the Intel channel and just do the Explore America channel. That's not what happened. Things did not settle down in 2016. They just got worse, and they're getting better now, finally, after 10 years. So Michigan Swamp Hopper says, I'm curious on where you're going, Red. Okay, I'm only going to tell to you guys. I can't say it all here. I'm going out west. I'll tell you on the other channel because there's I say a lot of shit that gets a lot of attention, that gets, my phone calls listened to. So there's a lot of people interested in me. And Michigan, that's, has a lot to do with my location. Like what I do share with people about my location. So I will bring it up on the other channel. I don't want to really say right now. I do need a little, I don't want to make myself vulnerable at this point, but it's to the West Coast. And what's going to happen is we're going on a safari. We're literally going ghost hunting. There might be some, we're not going to California, I will tell you that. There might be some machine gun shooting. There might be some UFO. When I say there might be, if we go to the UFO site where there's UFO sightings nightly, then you'll see it. So it's not like we have to hope that a UFO shows up. A UFO's definitely showing up. And you can watch them show up. And it's guaranteed to see UFOs. The ghosts are not guaranteed. But we're going to the ghost town. We're going literally ghost hunting for dead. I mean, it's going to be big. It's going to be it. I have stuck my foot in the golden puddle when it comes to episodes that will be out for the rest of this summer. And we're going to share that from the beginning to the end, from the minute we leave Henderson, Kentucky, till the moment we get to our destination. We're going to be sharing with you guys on the Explore America channel. And we're going to be gone for 10 days. So I am inviting you over there, and I'm inviting you to subscribe. And I am only 109 subscribers away from 4,000. And it was a very slow, I mean, we hit like 2,000. We hit like 2,200 right away. And from 2,200 to 4,000, it's been one or two people a week subscribing, maybe 5. Michigan, it's going to sound like a blast. I actually, that's sensitive too. But sorry, Michigan, I'll stop. LOL, have at it. Let me go back a little bit. Oh, Bill, you're trying to steal my #1 spot. Drive on. Stand up again. Do stand up again. You know what? I've got stuff written. It's totally a different world. I can't say what I said before. Like one show I did was literally a bunch of people from China who spoke English, and I threw all my jokes away, and the stuff that I said to them, I can't say it. It was funny even to them at the time, but in today's world, like, I have to rethink a lot of stuff. The good thing about my stand-up is I always try to make fun of myself. So a lot of other comedians, even just back then, for instance, like if you were around at the beginning of this video to see this live stream, to see the videos I showed, and I said I haven't been out in enjoying, my America for 10 months. That was literally after COVID. Like, the only person who showed up at that rodeo to see my offspring ride in that rodeo, and she was not one of the riders on screen. My mother was the only one out of like the 300 people that were there wearing a mask, and she wouldn't take the mask off. So we're barely out of COVID. People are still fully getting vaccinated. And that was exactly the time in history when that rodeo episode, the very first episode, dropped. And I've actually been thinking about going back to that ranch because they have a lot of horses for sale. And I thought we can make a video of all the horses for sale because I'm pretty close with the owner of that place. She actually brought the pony down to the lake for my offspring's 6th birthday, and all the kids were riding a pony up and down the lake, taking turns. So I think a great video would be to go visit the horses that are for sale. Also, you saw at the end of that video that black and white Tennessee Walker. I grew up, I shouldn't say I grew up. From my teen years, from like 12 years old to 18 years old, I was on a ranch with horses and ponies. And I did not have a good relationship with horses. As much as I've been around them, I never really gelled with horses at the time. And that black and white Tennessee Walker hates everyone in the world except for me. I'm literally, the owner of that ranch told me, I'm the only person she's ever seen connect with that Tennessee Walker. And they sold that Tennessee Walker because the horse just didn't like anybody. And I'm not in a position in a 600 square foot Fonzie apartment above a garage to buy a horse. So, and at my size, I can't legally ride a horse. I think the cutoff for riding a horse is 220 or 250 pounds for a standard size horse, unless you're getting on a Clydesdale. You do a good job making me laugh. Thank you very much, Patriot Lily. I'm way back. And Michigan says, sounds like a blast. So I do appreciate your time very much. I am going to leave this up for 24 hours or so and hope that people do go subscribe on Hello America and maybe fall asleep to a playlist. And that's basically about it. So I'm simply responding to the 56 people in the previous post where I asked, what makes you not interested in watching this particular comment? 56 people said, I didn't even know you had that content. I didn't even know that existed. So this video is for those 56 people. That's why I called the video test, because I knew all the news hounds that watch this channel that don't really give a shit if I'm dead or alive aren't going to click in. So I knew that the people who cared about me would click in and watch this video. So that's why I made it very ambiguous that the only people who are clicking in are people who actually give a shit about me, not about whatever information I'm sharing. So thank you very much. And Elvis or Jordan, oh man, dude, you know what? I don't know. I honestly asked that because, you know what? I got to say Jordan, because, I mean, people in China know who Jordan is. And, but the population's bigger now. I don't know. Because if we just base it on percentage of people alive that bought an Elvis album or people alive who bought something Michael Jordan, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. You know what? I'm going to ask ChatGPT, and I will post the answer to that based on what, no, I'll go to Grok. Maybe I'll go to Grok. And I'll post the answer to who was more popular, Jordan or Elvis. And if you don't understand what we're talking about right now, it's based on one of the videos I showed at the very beginning of this video. So peace and love worldwide. Live your life before your life lives you. God bless you and your family. Please be around to enjoy the adventures that are about to happen. Like the smallest part of my trip is I'm going to the Painted Desert. I'm going to the Petrified Forest. I'm passing through, I think, the burnt part of the Grand Canyon. And that's not even the fun stuff. That's just getting to the fun stuff on our way there. So join me at Explore America, peace and love worldwide, and thank you guys very much for your time. I understand that every second of the day, every minute that you breathe, every time you breathe in is precious. My previous landlord just passed away a couple days ago. She would make me food and send me, I'd go there and I help her with groceries or moving stuff around. She'd send me home with a bag full of homemade food. She just passed away a couple days ago. I understand that every breath you take, that I take, is precious. Every minute of your day is precious. It breaks my heart that there are people on YouTube who are purposely causing anxiety in their thumbnails to get people to watch their videos. So that's why I have Explore America. Thank you. Michigan says, God bless you all. Stay safe. Amen.